Morning. Another weekend. Another cold day. Snow is all gone, thankfully. I'm not as stupid as Craig as to go and try and work on my cars in the snow, but he's committed to the cause more than me, and by the looks of it. We've got another action-packed day today, hopefully. Got some new parts. We'll go through that. I've installed some air conditioning. You might be wondering. We'll go through that. Can we get it on its wheels with gearbox oil in it and started by the end of this video? More importantly, can I get this done before the rugby kicks off later? Wales are playing Italy. Being Welsh and given how the current progress of today's Six Nations is going, I'm not entirely sure I want to subject myself to that. But I got to decide what I want to do. Spend my head under a 30-year-old French shitbox, or go and drink myself to oblivion watching the Welsh rugby team lose to Italy. Interesting. A very difficult decision. At the minute, I'm leaning towards French shitbox, you know. So let's go. Let's get to it. Let's see what we got planned today. Let's get this cover off. Okay, so last episode, you might have remembered that I was having some Driveshaft issues. It's currently sat right behind the camera there. I couldn't find for love nor money the boot that I needed to replace it, and a universal one just wasn't going to fit it because it was a Driveshaft specific one. So I had to just bite the bullet and get myself a shaft. So I paid 60 quid for this off eBay, and it is brand new. As you can see, brand spanking new. Slightly different to the other one. Better because this end doesn't have those little weird like indents in the cup. So the first thing I need to do is get the cup out of the gearbox. Now that's a little bit weird from my perspective. Never had to deal with it before, because there's a little roll pin that is holding that cup into the shaft coming out the box, I hope, because that's how this one goes in. So I'm going to have to get a little pin punch, knock that out, get that cup off, get this new shaft in. So let's get to that. So back into the car. That's the cup that I need to get off this gearbox. And as you can see, with the light, that is a little roll pin that I need to punch out of the gearbox to be able to get that cup off the end of it there. And then I can slide the other one back on and put the pin back in. Simple as that.
Are you sure about that?
Safe to say, I think this V-roll pin here is defeating me, because I cannot, for the life of me, get it out. I've tried heat, I've tried drills, I've tried blunt force, I've bent punch pins, pin punches, I've broken them. I have broken all my pin punches. Just doesn't seem to want to come out. So I'm gonna have to give up for today. One of those days where you just need a cup of tea and revisit it another day. And it's just started pissing down. So I'm getting wet, which I don't like doing. So through the power of editing, let's go to the next day that I can feel like I can be bothered to attempt this. And maybe get some more drills and more punches. I thought I'd just show you some of the casualties that casualties from trying to get that roll pin out of the drive shaft. So we've got one completely dismantled 3.2mm, and that was actually the right size. Unfortunately, it was already bent. I'd already bent it on my Renault Traffic gearbox. Also getting a roll pin out of the selected bearing. So that was one casualty. Tried to use these two. This one bent about 3 times. You can probably see that it's bent there. That's a 4mm, I think. Yeah, that's a 4mm. That was probably just a little bit too big. I tried this once and also bent that, so they bent. These are they're from this Minotaur kit that I've got here, and I think they're all right. The problem being is that they're 2-piece. As you can see, that's got a little threaded end that kind of sticks in here, so they're never really going to be that durable. I have got another set on the way, which is a single piece one from Amazon, and we'll see how they do. Also got some 3mm drill bits. Speaking of drill bits, snapped. There's another one that I snapped as well somewhere. I don't know where that's gone. I probably yeeted it into next week. A T20 Torx bit was the right size. And I managed to get an extension in it, which gave me some good hammering power. They're just not hard enough. So that snapped. I then tried some other bits and bobs that I found that just wasn't good enough. That bent as well. I then sacrificed another T20 screwdriver, and this was probably doing all right. But I just need that roll pin because it's just too many vibrations coming off. It's not what it's designed for. But yeah, casualties from trying to get that roll pin out. So hopefully I can get some more roll pins, some more punch pin, better set single piece ones that are a little bit more hard, some more drill bits, and see if we can get that bad boy out. Otherwise, maybe Mr. Angle Grinder is going to make an appearance.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
One new drive shaft fitted.
Hooray!
Okay guys, we can see I've installed some air conditioning. Ready for the French Riviera weather. Windscreen's out. As you can see, it was in a pretty dire state. All cracked at the corners, at the top there, and all that is due to rust. There's a fair few spots of rust on this frame. So I've had the screen taken out, and now I need to get someone to come and do some welding on it. So I can get a screen back in. So I've got an appointment booked in 2 weeks' time to get a screen back in there. So I've got 2 weeks to get that welding done in our lovely snowy Welsh weather. So I need to secure this, make sure that it's dry. They've left me the screen luckily, so I can just place that back in there, and I'll probably put some tape around it and a tarp and try and keep it as watertight as I possibly can over the next couple of weeks. Air conditioning, boy. Well, I'm just here waiting for a mate of mine to turn up to help with the welding on the windscreen. We've had to take some drastic measures. It's holding out for the time being. It's dryish, but it is grim. It is tumping it down. Probably can't see from the camera, but it is grim. That's an evening of welding done. The weather's still horrific. Big thanks to Aaron for coming over and doing that bit of welding for me, because yeah, I couldn't have done that, not in this weather. And I've only got a week from today to be able to get the windscreen, to get the welding done together, so I can get the windscreen in, because the guys are coming back a week tomorrow actually to do the windscreen. And this is what the weather forecast looked like today for the next 10 days. Typical. So got all the welding done. Only thing I need to go down around now is just give all the bare metal a lick of red oxide primer, and I'm going to have to help it along the way with drying with a little hairdryer. I haven't got a heat gun, but I got a little hairdryer just because I can't leave this up overnight because I think the wind is just going to be too bad. So, but yeah, let's take a look at the welding job. So just take you through. There's been a couple of patches there. And, you know, given the way we were with the weather, I did say to Aaron, like, we don't have to worry too much about making this, like, completely invisible, because it's going to be covered up by seals anyway. But, yeah, there was a big hole there. There was a hole there. There was a hole there. You know, that was the big hole. There's been a big patch welded in there. As you can probably see, 2 little patches there. One big one there, a little one there. And then this was the worst bit. This corner was completely missing, so we've had to, I say we, you had to fabricate just a little something to get in that corner there. Otherwise, all the other places cleaned up okay. So let's get some red oxide primer in, get it dried, and then it's going back under the cover until I can get it all painted up properly. So I'm just going to paint it all black. I'll probably end up putting just a little 10mm strip of paint across the top there of black. I'm not going to go body colour, this is all black anyway. You're not going to be able to see it, so just need to get this windscreen in. So let's crack on. Right, okay, it's done, but I've got a couple of issues. I don't know why, but where I painted over the red oxide primer, it's got these little air bubbles in it, like. I don't know why. It's like it's almost like a wrap where it's like sliding over the top. Granted, it hasn't properly dried yet, but I don't know why that would have happened. I've tried pressing them down because it's sort of dried to the touch now. This looks awful, so I think I'm just gonna have to rub some of that back down and redo it when it's properly dried, really. No big deal, I can rub it down and give it another go, but that's the first attempt done. But that's looking a bit threatening, so I'm hoping that blue sky over there comes over this way rather than the rain. Fingers crossed. But progress is being made, at least.
Eventually.
Well, we've arrived at the morning where we are due to have some glass fitted, and it's been a lovely morning, and I was thankful to the weather gods that it was a fine morning. And then a text saying that there'd be 10 minutes away, and then as if by magic, it starts absolutely thumping it down here. Bloody typical, like. So I might have to put the gazebo up, or let's see if they can get in with a cover or something. Fingers crossed. Right, I'm back, and the weather gods were good. That the rain managed to hold off just as the glass guy came, and guys, we've got some glass in it. Champion. And here she is, nice and all new shiny glass. All the trims put back in. Tried to sell me some wipers, but you know, I think I can sort them out myself. But yeah, super happy. Pilkington Laminated. Don't know who they are, but thanks for providing my screen with my retro little green tint across the top, which is apparently the only screen that they could get because it's just a 30-year-old car. So that screen took 2 months to arrive. Whew. Looking good now. Looking good. Just gotta get some gearbox oil in it, get some proper wheels and tires on it, and then I can get it in for an MOT and see what it's gonna fail on, and see what other work I've got to do. But it is safe to say that I am super happy now that that's got glass in. Big missing piece of the puzzle for me. I mean, you know, not having the glass available and not being able to get it for an MOT, you know, gave me the opportunity to do some really cool stuff around, you know, the suspension and all that bits and bobs that needed doing. So that was good. I just need to get it in for an MOT now and see what else is going to fail on, and yeah, see if we can get some miles on it. Let's go. It's a good sign. I think I might have run out of diesel.